the
You have to kind of work twice as hard.
Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, Africa. And of course, good morning, world. You are welcome to The Conversation. I am Nkamian John.
And I'm Adesua. Good morning.
So much has happened in the last 24 to 48 hours, especially as the presidency, or will I say the White House, was very much and still is in the searchlight, under the searchlight as far as the world is concerned. America today has a new president. Joe Biden has transited from being a presidential candidate to president-elect, and now officially the president, the 46th president, I must emphasize, of the United States of America. And most importantly, another historic landmark as far as American democracy is concerned, empowering women and giving them the opportunity to vie to the highest position in the land. And so today, America can say that it has its first female vice president and first black female of Asian descent vice president in the person of Kamala Harris. How do you feel about that?
I feel really good. I mean, you know, everybody looks towards America as the status quo or what it should be. And then for America to have a female vice president, I think that spells really good for the world, especially while we're advocating for more women in power and more women, you know, doing things, and more women at the helm of things in the society. And having Kamala Harris there is a good example, not for just for the world, but for women as well, and personally for me. So yeah.
Well, the quest to create a level playing field for both the male and the female, as far as every area of endeavor in life is concerned, is an ongoing process, especially here in Africa.
Yes.
So in just a moment, we'll be bringing you up to speed with developments across Africa. Do stay with us.
North to South Africa. East to West Africa. TOS TV Network is your digital-first Pan-African news network, bringing you news from across the continent. Visit our website www.tostvnetwork.com and follow us on social media at TOS TV Network on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. Watch us on television, channel 138 on TSTV Africa.
All right, thanks for staying with us. And if you're just joining us, this is The Conversation. And it's that part of the show where we'll bring you up to speed with developments across Africa. And we start from Somalia, where its information minister, Osman Abdulkar Dube, on Tuesday denied claims that hundreds of Somali soldiers had been killed while fighting alongside their Ethiopian counterparts against the Tigray People's Liberation Front, the TPLF. Now, appearing on Somali national TV, SNTV, the minister noted that Ethiopia did not request any troops from Somalia. Referring to the reports as rumors and nonsense, he said, and I quote, "It is unfortunate that people are trying to find political gains from our national army. We are confirming that the fake news, which is meant for politics and business, that claims Somali troops training in Eritrea took part in fighting in Tigray region, northern Ethiopia, is not true."
Quite interesting. Well, quite an interesting development in Kenya. So the Kenya government has introduced the digital service tax, a new way to tax people or social media influencers and any other person doing business on digital platforms. And the reason is that the number of social media influencers are on the rise, and no one is paying tax when doing business on the internet or on social media, so they're about to start taxing people. According to a statement by one of the government officials, he says social media influencers will be liable to pay digital service tax since their income is derived from or accrued from the provision of services through a digital marketplace or by providing digital advertising services in Kenya. This statement read in part, the taxman described an influencer as a person who commands a large following on social media platforms through the product or services they use or engage in to drive sales or merely for fame or popularity. So if you're a social media influencer in Kenya, you're about to start paying tax for just, doing things on social media. And then we're going to move into Tunisia, where I think the Tunisian version of the Nigerian NSAS or End Bad Governance protest is ongoing. Protesters have rallied in Tunisia's capital after several nights of street violence, reviving the chant that rang a decade ago in a revolution that brought in democracy. The people want the fall of the regime. They're actually demanding for a change in regime.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, daytime protests in Tunis and some other cities demanding jobs, dignity, and the release of detainees have followed clashes over recent nights between security forces and youth as COVID-19 restrictions add to wider economic malaise. The whole system must go. We will return to the streets and will regain our rights and our dignity that a corrupt elite seized after the revolution, said Maher Abid, an unemployed protester. Shortly before last week's 10th anniversary of the revolution, Prime Minister Ihem Mehiki's government ordered a 4-day lockdown, a tighter nighttime curfew, and a ban on protests. However, in cities across the country, youths have thrown stones and petrol bombs, burnt tires, and looted shops, while police have deployed tear gas and batons, arresting hundreds. This is kind of nostalgic because it's virtually almost the same thing that happened in Nigeria a short while ago.
I'm going to borrow something that one of my favorite actors said. Tom Ford. I said Tom Ford, Tommy Lee Jones, and he said there is a natural force of nature that is coming, and whether we like it or not, we either brace it or make room for it. And guess what? That force of nature he's talking about?
Change.
The youth.
Oh.
The youth. And in less than 30 seconds, he said, that there was need for the world to begin to accept the fact that the era of the young people has come.
As now, yeah, and it's definitely now.
And it's not just in Africa, all across the world.
Yes, exactly.
All across the world. All right, let's move to developments in Uganda. Elections are not over just yet as far as Uganda is concerned, as polling stations in that country opened for the voters to elect city mayors and district chairpersons. Now, local media reported low voter turnout in the local government council elections compared to last week's presidential and parliamentary elections. Political commentator Sarah Bitete said that the low turnout was expected as some voters were unhappy. Take note, underline the word unhappy with how the general elections were conducted. Now, the Electoral Commission said polling stations will close at 4 p.m. That's 1600 local time, 1300 GMT. Now, popular musician Jose Camel Con, real name Joseph Mayaja, is contesting to be mayor of the capital city Kampala. His rivals include Nabila Nagayi, Dan Kazibe, Godfrey Nyakana, and incumbent Arias Luwango. So it looks as if it's election galore as far as Uganda is concerned. And now coming back to the home front, talking about Nigeria, we had a Nigerian lawyer and human rights activist, Femi Falana, SAN, has filed a complaint at the United Nations against, guess who? President Yoweri Museveni. I must apologize for the feedback. Our engineers will ensure that we deal with that. All right. Thank you so much for taking away the whole back. Back to the story. Femi Falana has filed a complaint at the United Nations against President Yoweri Museveni of Uganda over the illegal detention of Robert Nyagulani, aka Bobby Wine. Now, Bobby Wine, a former reggae musician, has been under house arrest since Thursday night. It reports that the 38-year-old Bobby Wine was Museveni's main challenger in the 14th January 2021 presidential election. Now, contesting as a presidential candidate under the umbrella of the National Union Platform, NUP, Bobby Wine had emerged second best after polling 38% of the votes. Now, Museveni was declared winner after claiming 58% of votes cast. However, Ugandan forces had cordoned off Wine's house since last Thursday, effectively keeping him and his wife under house arrest and incommunicado. Of course, Wine had managed to let the world know that he had run out of food. He and his family were virtually at the point of going on hunger strike.
But why do you think they're still holding him? I mean, the election is over, so why do you think they're still holding him?
It's typical. You must understand that he has to be taught to respect his elders.
Typical African thing.
Exactly. He must be taught to respect. I mean, even the U.S. ambassador to Uganda was denied access to see Bobby Wine. So right now, Bobby Wine is paying for daring to disrespect his elder. I didn't say Museveni, his elder.
Okay. We'll just stick with that, his elder. Okay, all right. We're going to go to our COVID-19 updates. Welcome back. It's still the conversation here on TOS TV Network, and we're going to be taking some few COVID-19 stories. First is in South Africa. The South African Health Minister, Zweli Mzise, spoke out on Tuesday about the COVID-19 pandemic after making his rounds at hospitals in Johannesburg. The health minister explained the current state of health affairs. According to him, the surge came much faster than we anticipated, and it became worse than we actually initially expected. And this partly has also got to do with the degree of complacency at a level of society where we start dropping the mask, start going to big parties, and so on. Part of the reason why you are seeing more young people coming in is also because of the behavior when young people kind of got into activities that were super spreader activities. The spike in coronavirus infections, driven by a more contagious variant of the virus, has put a heavy strain on South Africa's hospital. So, do you think South Africa will be looking at a lockdown really soon?
They already, what they did is what I would refer to as systematic lockdown. Okay. I think they started the lockdown first in Cape Town, the Cape Province, and they have gradually graduated to seven. And it's not a complete lockdown. Okay. It's just restrictions on certain activities, certain movements in certain areas, like in the Cape Province and Cape Town, which is a highly bubbling, let me use that phrase, area, because I mean, South Africa is like second home for me. There's a lot of activities, night clubbing, social gatherings, and all of that. So what they did was to curtail all those activities, minimize the chances of especially young people having to always, come together, gather,
all these fun activities.
All of that.
All right, take us on the next story.
All right, still on COVID-19, this time Zimbabwe's Foreign Affairs Minister Sibusiso Moyo has died, with details on the circumstances around his death still unclear. Now, President Emerson Nagawa, I beg your pardon, eulogized Moyo as a devout public servant and a true hero. Now, Moyo, a major general, was the face of the military takeover, which ousted former President Robert Mugabe. On the night of the coup d'etat, he appeared on television in uniform to ask Zimbabweans to remain calm and assure them that only criminals were being targeted. And moving from being the face of the coup d'etat to the foreign affairs minister. All right. So we'll take a quick breather, and when we return back, Adeswa and I will take you through what's happening on the front pages of the national dailies. Do stay with us.
North to South Africa, East to West Africa, TOS TV Network is your digital-first Pan-African news network, bringing you news from across the continent. Visit our website www.tostvnetwork.com and follow us on social media at TOS TV Network on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Watch us on television, channel 138 on TV.
Welcome back. We're going to move straight into the front page of the newspapers this morning, starting with the Daily Trust. The most glaring headline on that one says, "Ripples over Akeredolu's quit notice to herdsmen." This is still, at the front burner of things here in Nigeria. Directive provocative, Northern Elders Forum. Afenifere others, OK governor's order. Presidency not aware of our predicament, says Ondo State government. I think that's because the presidency says they cannot do that. And then Ondo farmers, Miyeti Allah, back state government. And then under that, we have, glaring pictures of Kamala Harris and Joe Biden being sworn in as U.S. president. And then the headline says, Biden takes the helm as U.S. president. And then under, we have gunmen abduct mother, 2 children in Suleja. That is sad. 2023, how zoning agreement was reached in APC caucus member. FEC approves 65 as retirement age for teachers. Okay, and then on the top to the left, we have water shortage threatens dry season for farming. Buhari directs agencies to certify locally made helicopter. Jega Nwodo Adebanjo Kadara, others speak at Daily Trust Dialogue today. To learn more, you have to get a copy of the Daily Trust newspaper.
All right, quickly we go to Business Day. Don't mind me. I'm that kind of guy.
Exactly.
Yeah. Start my day with checking out how the stock market is doing, right? Yeah. So Business Day, interesting developments on the front page. Nigerians groan under weight of 2 economic recession. And you can get more details on that by getting yourself a copy of the daily Business Day this morning. Also on the Business Day, there's this interesting headline: rising cement price leaves no one untouched. In the last almost 2 months, the price of cement had gone up, and it's been a talking point, especially for the real estate and construction sector, yes, of the country. So those are basically the stories making the round as far as Business Day is concerned. And on the inside of the newspaper, giving you a scoop here, though on the front page, Expensive oxygen now required to survive COVID-19, but Nigerians can't afford it.
That is scary and sad at the same time. I, I don't know what to say about that, but that's quite scary and sad. Okay, moving on to the leadership newspaper. Northern elders flay Ondo governor over quit notice. I think that is on the front page of most newspaper this morning. Urges Akeredolu to reverse decision on herdsman. Presidency, ignorant of our predicament, says the governor, and Ferry accuses federal government of taking sides. That's quite similar to what we had on the
Yeah,
Daily
but
Trust
I think Akeredolu should be indicted for making that statement that the presidency is not aware of the plight of people in Ondo State. It is his primary responsibility to have updated the presidency on the security situation as a result of the activities of herdsmen in his state. So if the presidency is acting based on ignorance, it's partly his fault. Though the presidency is also not excused from not being aware. I mean, the subject of insecurity in Nigeria has been on the front burner for months.
Yes.
So everywhere these headsmen are seen to be active should be on the radar.
I don't think he means he's not fully aware. I think he's probably not. What he means is he doesn't know the extent to which,
Regardless, there should be daily reports updating the presidency and the country's security apparatus on the activities going. He is the chief security officer of his state, so there's no excuse about it.
Okay, moving on, still on the front page of the leadership. Joe Biden's presidency marks strong point for Nigeria, U.S. style, says President Muhammadu Buhari. Under that, it says, as new president vows to unite Americans. We can't wait for that. And then this one is by Ohanize. It says, Igbo will always be part of Nigeria. Registration, APC reads Riot Act, threatens to deal with hijackers. And then on the lower parts to the left, we have 2 billion naira fraud. Maina seeks bail on health grounds. Federal government begins verification of Nigeria Airways ex-workers. And then Nigeria pilgrims in Saudi Arabia for lesser Hajj 11 months after. And then the FEC approves 65-year retirement age for teachers. And then on the top part of the leadership, it says presidency uncovers fraud, poor service delivery in regulatory agencies. WHO raises concerns over shortage of COVID-19 vaccines in Nigeria. That is on the front page of the leadership newspaper this morning.
All right, let's jump quickly to the Blueprint newspaper. Quite interesting headlines on the top right-hand side of the front page. It says, Anambra monarch drags subject to court for calling him chief.
That is interesting, actually.
It's not surprising, as Nigerians and Africans were very particular
about
our titles,
yes,
especially traditional titles. All right, still under that headline, you have Uni Abuja, 5 others named digital centers of competence. Now that's something to celebrate as far as University of Abuja and the 5 other higher institutions that have been named as digital centers of competence. And then under the banner, the logo of the Blueprint newspaper, this is one story that is resonating across virtually all the dailies here in Nigeria. Northern elders to Akeredolu, your quick notice provocative. Your quick notice provocative. And if you want to get the details of that, please get yourself a copy of the Blueprint newspaper. And of course, the big one right there in the center of the front page of the Blueprint, 78-year-old Biden and at inauguration as 46th U.S. president. We will put America back together again. That's the headline, and it has 2 riders. It says, promises to press forward with speed, urgency. Harris makes history as first female vice president. Nigeria will work with new leadership. That quoting President Muhammadu Buhari there on the front page of the Blueprint. Then underneath the picture of President Joe Biden taking his oath of office, You have Global Credit Rating Awards, Dangote Cement, double A plus and A1 plus. At a time where the price of cement it has spiked, you know. And underneath that, some other headlines: UN enrollment. NIM enrollment. Sorry, I beg your pardon there. NIMC designates more centers for Abuja. That's Nigeria's capital city. FEC approves 65 years retirement age for teachers. And we hear that Rivers State government has donated a sum of 500 million to Sokoto fire disaster victims. That's a whole lot happening on the front page of the Blueprint newspaper. Do get a copy.
And then the last one for this morning, we have the Daily Independent. Ondo dares presidency, insists headsmen must quit forest. And then under those, that actually, states presidency ignorant of state security situation. Farmers slam presidency, Miyetti Allah over comments. Northern elders ask headers to disregard ultimatum. And then we see APC vows to deal with hijackers of registration revalidation exercise. And then here, President Buhari is saying, I look forward to working with Biden as Biden takes oath, urges unity among Americans. I think that's quite similar to what Trump was saying, make America great again. And then under this one, it says, Kwara APC crisis, Lai Mohammed faction threatens to work against party. Under that, minister to meet Buhari over alleged bias by Buni-led committee. Okay, so that is what we have on the front page of the Daily Independent newspaper this morning.
Yeah, quite interesting developments all across Nigeria and globe as Nigeria joins the rest of the world to celebrate President Joe Biden and, of course, Vice President Kamala Harris. All right, up next is our big story. And as always, you know, we do it big on The Conversation.
An election the world looks forward to, the United States of America election, an election that stirred lots of controversies. Amidst the controversies, Donald Trump joined a select group of presidents who served only one presidential term in office. He became the 45th president of the United States of America in 2016 when he defeated Hillary Clinton to succeed Barack Obama. But his hopes of another 4 years in power have been dashed by Democratic candidates Joe Biden and running mate Kamala Harris. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are being sworn in today, 20th January 2021. It is well known that former President Trump's administration paid little or no attention to Nigeria and Africa at large. Our hopes are high, as Joe Biden has said he will reverse some of Trump's policies, especially the travel ban on Nigeria and other countries. Can we say that the Joe Biden and Kamala Harris administration is a new hope for Africa? An election the world looks forward to, the United States of America election, an election that stirred lots of controversies. Amidst the controversies, Donald Trump joined a select group of presidents who served only one presidential term in office. He became the 45th president of the United States of America in 2016 when he defeated Hillary Clinton to succeed Barack Obama. But his hopes of another 4 years in power have been dashed by Democratic candidates Joe Biden and running mate Kamala Harris. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are being sworn in today, 20th January 2021. It is well known that former President Trump's administration paid little or no attention to Nigeria and Africa at large. Our hopes are high, as Joe Biden has said he will reverse some of Trump's policies, especially the travel ban on Nigeria and other countries. Can we say that the Joe Biden and Kamala Harris administration is a new hope for Africa? An election the world looks forward to, the United States of America election, An election that stirred lots of controversies. Amidst the controversies, Donald Trump joined a select group of presidents who served only one presidential term in office. He became the 45th president of the United States of America in 2016 when he defeated Hillary Clinton to succeed Barack Obama. But his hopes of another 4 years in power have been dashed by Democratic candidate Joe Biden and running mate Kamala Harris. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are being sworn in today, 20th January 2021. It is well known that former President Trump's administration paid little or no attention to Nigeria and Africa at large. Our hopes are high, as Joe Biden has said he will reverse some of Trump's policies, especially the travel ban on Nigeria and other countries. Can we say that the Joe Biden and Kamala Harris administration is a new hope for Africa? An election the world looks forward to, the United States of America election, an election that stirred lots of controversies. Amidst the controversies, Donald Trump joined a select group of presidents who served only one presidential term in office. He became the 45th president of the United States of America in 2016 when he defeated Hillary Clinton to succeed Barack Obama. But his hopes of another 4 years in power have been dashed by Democratic candidate Joe Biden and running mate Kamala Harris. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are being sworn in today, 20th January 2021. It is well known that former President Trump's administration paid little or no attention to Nigeria and Africa at large. Our hopes are high, as Joe Biden has said he will reverse some of Trump's policies, especially the travel ban on Nigeria and other countries. Can we say that the Joe Biden and Kamala Harris administration is a new hope for Africa? An election the world looks forward to, the United States of America election, an election that stirred lots of controversies. Amidst the controversies, Donald Trump joined a select group of presidents who served only one presidential term in office. He became the 45th president of the United States of America in 2016 when he defeated Hillary Clinton to succeed Barack Obama. But his hopes of another 4 years in power have been dashed by Democratic candidate Joe Biden and running mate Kamala Harris. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are being sworn in today, 20th January 2021. It is well known that former President Trump's administration paid little or no attention to Nigeria and Africa at large. Our hopes are high, as Joe Biden has said he will reverse some of Trump's policies, especially the travel ban on Nigeria and other countries. Can we say that the Joe Biden and Kamala Harris administration is a new hope for Africa? An election the world looks forward to, the United States of America election, an election that stirred lots of controversies. Amidst the controversies, Donald Trump joined a select group of presidents who served only one presidential term in office. He became the 45th president of the United States of America in 2016 when he defeated Hillary.
All right, still the conversation. Thanks for staying with us, and we hope our big story has been able to give you an insight into what our line of discussion will be this morning, as we're being joined in the studio by a public affairs commentator in the person of Comrade Ben Abdul. Comrade, it's great to have you join us this morning.
The pleasure is all mine.
Right. Biden has taken office. America once again has made history by having the first female vice president, and not just the first female vice president, first female black vice president of Asian descent. I mean, it's like they cross the entire globe, you know. Being an African and seeing this, witnessing this historic development, how do you feel about what took place at the Capitol in the United States?
I feel excited as an African. I feel very excited because history has been made, and considering the history of the African race, our experience has not been palatable, to say the least. We've gone through slavery, we've gone through colonialism, and what today is referred to as neocolonialism. The black race has been so denigrated, socially kept at a distance, that sometimes some people even go as far as equating us to the lower animals. But to see black people making these strides, it gives me the sense of self-esteem as an individual. Even though I'm not an American, but as a black man, I feel this sense of self-esteem, self-worth. And I think it's a plus for us because this victory is not just a victory for America, it is a victory for the black personality.
What's the difference with the experience and the reaction you have now, considering the fact that you have a black woman as vice president, first woman VP, with when Obama was president? Because one would have expected that, okay, it was a major win, mega win for the black race when a black man, and then a black man who has a direct connection with Africa becoming the number one citizen of the world, and of course the president of the land of the free and of the brave.
I think, like I said earlier, what makes Kamala
Harris,
what makes her victory so special as the father? First, she's a woman. And she's not just black, she's also an Asian. And if you look at these two races, bicontinental, but we've suffered almost the same thing, historically. So if you look at it now, it's just like, it's a victory for
across
Asian, it's a bicontinental victory. And not just that, like I said earlier, it's about the personality, the black personality. It's a victory for the black personality. It's also a victory for the Asian personality. And that's why this movement is so special in human history. Thousands of years to come, people will still talk about this movement. It has never happened before. If it was easy, Clinton should have been the first female president of America.
Yeah.
So you see the misogynist aspect of American politics, but the fact that a black woman is today the vice president of America is a great leap forward for the black race and the prospect that humanity has for the black.
Talking about prospects, while reading the dailies this morning, President Buhari has said that he's looking forward to working with Joe Biden. And I think I, like other Africans, are more interested in what Joe Biden being president spells for the African continent. In your opinion, what do you think Joe Biden's presidency now portends for Africa, especially Nigeria?
Okay, it's simple. If you look now, sometimes there's a difference between politics and governance. And in governance, body language matters a lot. You can be democratic but nepotic at the same time, and your body language will suggest otherwise. If you look at Biden now, his body language is simple. Look at the executive order he signed. The first time we'll have a defense secretary that's a black man.
Exactly.
Now he's signaling to the Africa and to the larger world, especially the oppressed world, that I'm ready to do business with you. For the first time, we've seen a cabinet that is diverse. So don't be surprised seeing a black man negotiating as a black ambassador with Nigeria, and we'll have a common ground. We are not talking from the basis of superiority or inferiority complex any longer. So the body language of Biden is, I think, the prospects for Black-America relationship, or Africa-America relationship rather, I think is bright. It's very bright.
Okay, before Mr. John asks this question, I know Mr. John is very, very interested in AFTA, and you're talking about the American and African relationship. Do you think we're going to have like a US backing for AFTA?
A US backing?
Yeah, like...
for the recently activated Africa
Free
Continental free trade agreement and free
I
trade
think
area.
since the agreement is endogenous, the process and the delivery should also be indigenous.
Okay.
The area we should look at America's intervention, we should be able to draw a red line as Africans. Where is this? Where are our areas of priorities?
Exactly.
Where are our areas of gains? If you see the European Union today, European Union, if France want to negotiate a deal with you, France don't come as France.
They come as the
EU.
European, yeah.
Okay.
So the advantage we have from that free trade agreement is it gives us this bargaining power. We are negotiating with other countries. I'm no longer going as a Nigerian or ECOWAS or SADC or whatever. No regional blocking. We are going one as Africa.
Yeah.
So we are negotiating a fair deal for the continent and our people also.
All right, now let's look at the politics. You did say something earlier that there's a difference between governance and politics. Now, in the build-up to Biden winning the election, you had a Donald Trump that had so evidently made it clear that the white race, as it were, seemed to be under threat by what he would call the leftists, and particularly the black race. And there are a cross-section of white Americans, even Europeans as well, who feel that their race is under siege by the black race. What's your thoughts on this, will I call it theory? I don't want to call it conspiracy, but theory, yeah.
You see, this theory has always been there. If you look at Africa, tribal race was the first to give way in Africa. That's why till today, we still talk about South Africa and we look at, see a white man still call himself a South African. But if you look clearly at America today, the average Confederate, I've used the word especially, Confederate America, still believes in this idea of race preservation, a race war. It's either happening now or sometime in the future. Trump came in and re-emphasized that conspiracy. And today, that conspiracy will outlive Trump. It has been there in the American system. It has been institutionalized in the justice system and what have you. Any system that makes people feel, because of my color, my sexual orientation, my ideology, and what have you, I'm above you, that system creates a room for anarchy and chaos. And what we witnessed in Capitol Hill sometime last week, was a prerequisite.
All right. I would love to hear your thoughts on the fact that there's a conspiracy that Joe Biden is just an extension of Barack Obama. That, in fact, Barack Obama may have also made history to become the first black man and the first president to actually spend, say, about 12 or 16 years in the presidency.
Yes.
Do you share that thought by extension?
I don't.
Okay. Why?
Biden's victory, for me personally, I see it as an eye-opener first.
All right, we'll take a quick break, and when we return, we'll continue this conversation
Off to South
on the
Africa.
conversation.
East to West Africa. TOS TV Network is your digital-first Pan-African news network, bringing you news from across the continent. Visit our website www.tostvnetwork.com and follow us on social media at TOS TV Network on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Watch us on television, channel 13.
All right, we still have Comrade Ben Abdul with us, and before we went on that break, I was trying to pick his thoughts as regards the possible conspiracy that President Joe Biden might be a Barack Obama extension, and we might see a Barack Obama by extension spending another 8 years or more in the White House.
Yes.
But comrade, you were sharing your thoughts.
Yeah, like I said, you know, the beauty of the American democracy, there's no perfect democracy anywhere, but the beauty of American democracy lies in the fact that checks and balances have been put in place to arrest the tendency of dictatorial behaviors. If you look at what is happening in the Trump presidency, you'll notice one thing. If Trump had his way, he would have been a tin pot dictator or the chairman Mosindong of America. But because the checks and balances are there, it's easy for you to arrest any of those dictatorial tendencies. Saying it's an extension of Barack Obama presidency will be an insult to the history of black contribution to the development of America. If you look at Georgia, for example, there's a black awakening in white America. If you look at Georgia, for example, we had a Stacey Abraham that was almost a path to victory. But because the system has been so institutionalized to be racist, and racism has been accepted as a law in American politics, she lost the election. But that's not to say that same Georgia did not produce a black Democrat senator. Something for the first time in decades. You see, like I said, it's not about whether it's an extension of black or Barack Obama presidency. It has to do with the reawakening and the political consciousness of black Americans.
So finally, what is the take home for black Africa from all of this?
We have achieved a lot since 1400 and before 1400. We've achieved a lot. But one damage that has been difficult for us to correct and that we're still suffering from is the personality, the black personality. Like I said earlier, slavery, colonialism, neocolonialism has damaged the black personality. Seeing a black woman like Kamala Harris today with an black and Asian heritage becoming the Vice President of America today is an inspiration for black ladies today. Some stay in college, some stay in high school, and what have you. It's an inspiration that there is no limit to what a woman can achieve, and there is no limit to what a black person can also achieve.
Thank you so much, Comrade Ben Abdul, for making our time to be with us. We really appreciate you have shared a whole lot of light, giving us a whole lot of background, and I'm sure our viewers have taken a lot from your contributions on this edition of the show. We hope once we call on you again, you will oblige us with your presence.
The pleasure is always mine.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
All right, we'll take a quick breather. When we come back, Adeswa will take us on what's trending right here on The Conversation.
Watch out for the latest update on sports and politics as they unfold. You can also get notifications for our upcoming programs and events. All these on our TOS TV Network mobile app, available on Apple Store and Google Play Store. TOS TV News from Africa by Africans.
Being a journalist means in-depth analysis that unravels hidden truths, that question the status quo and fact-checks government.
These criminal elements hiding under the cloak of surveillance contractors are the APC elements.
Do you have facts to prove that? Being a journalist means waking up every day with a burning desire for peace, equity, and justice for all citizens.
We're being told that the choice you have is to take the lesser of two evils.
It means patriotism via the prism of objectivity and accountability. It means giving my platform to the masses to discuss issues that matter to them.
Some of them, if they bring budget, and the budget they look. Some they sleep. They're going to ask how much we are on. I have it.
Thereby shaping government policies and laws. My name is Asasu Igbenegbu, and I am
East to West Africa. TOS TV Network is your digital-first Pan-African news network, bringing you news from across the continent. Visit our website www.tostvnetwork.com and follow us on social media at TOSTV Network on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Watch us on television, channel 138 on TSTV Africa. North to South Africa, East to West Africa, TOS TV Network is your digital-first Pan-African news network, bringing you news.
Welcome back, and if you're just joining, you haven't missed so much. Maybe you have, but I'm about to take you on what's trending on social media today. And if you've been around since yesterday, you would know that what has been trending is Joe Biden and Kamala Harris being inaugurated as both the president and vice president of the United States of America. They were inaugurated yesterday, January 20th. And that has sparked, interesting conversations on social media. We even had the hashtag inauguration 2021. And so I'm going to be reading out some really interesting tweets here. This one is by a Nigerian. He said, he's Dante Wright. He says, I trust rich Nigerians. They will soon start flying that Michelle Obama hairstylist to Lagos for their weddings and birthdays. Did you see Michelle Obama's hair yesterday?
I saw a lot of beautiful women yesterday. Jennifer Lopez.
Yes, exactly.
Lady Gaga, Michelle Obama, of course. Barack. Just
no, I mean, I think he's aware. He already knows. So there's no problem. But, well, of course, Nigerians like the old one, it has to look proper. So, yeah. And then this one is by Adetola Ovi. He says, it's crazy how the US gets the entire world deeply invested in their domestic affairs. The entire world is buzzing about the inauguration. Doubt any other nation gets the world on steroids like the USA. I mean, it's the USA. What do they expect?
I mean, they set the trend.
I see. And then this one is Cambrini_Devo. Gosh, I'm so excited about inauguration 2021. So liberating to watch. Lady Gaga singing was perfect. When Jennifer Lopez made that shout out in Spanish, a tear fell off my eye. I'm so happy that power has been taken away from a bad person that emboldened other bad people. Okay. And then the last one is...
I don't know what she's talking about there.
I decided not to say anything about it because, I mean, they're not going to hear it from me. Okay. And then this one is by Enima Seun. He says, I think they should send TB Joshua to the White House to go and exorcise the evil spirits and demons left behind by number 45. Okay, if you don't know who TB Joshua is, I think you should Google him. If you know TB Joshua, then you would know what this guy is trying to say. How interesting, though.
Very interesting reactions. But you see, we will, as always, keep our ears on the ground, our searchlight beam for the light-hearted side of the inauguration. Don't forget, Nigerians are celebrating. We have our Ashray B. I wouldn't be surprised if we had parties and dinners all across America, when Nigerians were celebrating Kamala Harris.
Yes.
Now, maybe you haven't heard, Kamala's younger sister, if I'm not mistaken, is married to who?
A Nigerian.
An Igbo man.
Oh, I like the way you say it.
An Igbo man. You know what I'm saying? I just remembered Bishop T.D. Jakes, who says he's traced his lineage to Igbo land.
So she's our in-law right now.
You know, Kamala Harris is our own. She's our in-law.
So we're celebrating
So
our in-law.
very soon we will go for a mogo. All right. Well, gradually we have come to the end of this edition of The Conversation. Of course, it's a great way to prepare you for what promises to be an interesting weekend.
Thank you so much for sticking with us. Thank you for joining us on yet another edition of The Conversation here on your digital first Pan-African network, TOS TV network. Do not forget to subscribe to all of our social media platforms, TOS TV network on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram, and also on YouTube, TOS TV network. Also, we are available on TS TV, channel 138 as TOS News. I am Adesu Osui.
And I am Kamyang John. See you tomorrow.
Or look at the issue of freedom to lead.